Good evening, board members. My name is Brandon, and I am honoured to present my vision for transforming Hazelhen's approach to talent management. As the newly appointed junior executive of people and culture, I believe that our employees are not just workers but are a key pillar in having a sustainable competitive advantage. For too long, Hazelhen has treated its crew members as expendable, leading to high turnover, dissatisfaction, and missed opportunities for business growth. However, research in human resource management shows that even low-cost fast food chains can drive innovation, efficiency, and profitability by investing in their people. In this presentation, I will outline a strategic vision for talent acquisition and management, demonstrating how a people-first approach aligns with our competitive strategy. Our vision for talent acquisition and management at Hazelhen. At Hazelhen, our crew members are the foundation of our business. They are the face of our brand, shaping customer experiences and ensuring operational success. However, our current approach, treating employees as expendable, has led to high turnover, low morale, and missed opportunities for long-term growth. It is time for a change. My vision is to reposition Hazelhen's workforce as a source of sustainable competitive advantage by investing in talent acquisition, development, and retaining employees. Instead of viewing crew members as temporary or replaceable workers, we must recognize them as valuable assets who contribute to efficiency, service quality, and brand reputation. This means moving from a transactional, one-sided employment career to a people-first approach that includes loyalty, engagement, and good performance. Additionally, firms without valuable, rare, or imperfectly imitable cultures cannot expect their cultures to be the source of sustained competitive advantage. To achieve this, Hazelhen must implement recruitment strategies that attract high potential candidates who align with our brand values. We must also create a structured career development framework, providing crew members with clear growth pathways, skills training, and leadership opportunities. By improving job satisfaction and career prospects, we can reduce turnover, enhance service quality, and ultimately strengthen our brand's market position. By embedding this vision into our HR strategy, Hazelhen can differentiate itself in the competitive fast food industry, ensuring not only lower operational costs through retention, but also increased customer loyalty through superior service. Investing in people is not just an ethical choice, it is a business necessity for long-term sustained success. The link between competitive strategy and human resource management practices. A firm's competitive strategy is closely linked to its human resource management practices, as an organizational culture plays a central role in determining sustained competitive advantage. Organizational culture is defined as a complex set of values, beliefs, assumptions, and symbols that define the way in which a firm conducts its business. This culture influences how a firm interacts with employees, customers, and competitors. For HRM practices to contribute to sustained competitive advantage, they must support a culture that is valuable, rare, and imperfectly imitable. As Barney states, a firm's culture must enable it to do things and behave in ways that lead to high sales, low costs, high margins, or in other ways create economic value to the firm. If HRM policies foster a culture that enhances efficiency, employee commitment, and service quality, they contribute directly to economic performance. However, to sustain this advantage, the culture must also be unique. If many firms have similar cultures that allow them to behave and compete in approximately the same way, then none will possess a culturally based competitive advantage. Furthermore, even if a firm's culture is valuable and rare, it must also be difficult for competitors to imitate. As Barney explains, perfectly imitable cultures, even if they are valuable and even if they are currently rare, are subject to imitation that dissipates any competitive advantage that may provide. This means that HRM practices must cultivate a culture that is deeply embedded in the organization, making it challenging for rivals to replicate. Ultimately, HRM practices must align with a firm's competitive strategy by shaping a culture that drives superior performance while remaining difficult to imitate. Next, we have the VRIO framework. The VRIO framework, which consists of value, rarity, imitability, and organization, identifies the four key sources of sustainable competitive advantage. Firstly, for a resource to contribute to sustained competitive advantage, it must be valuable. Firm resources can only be a source of competitive advantage or sustained competitive advantage when they are valuable. Resources are considered valuable when they enable a firm to conceive or implement strategies that improve its efficiency and effectiveness. Valuable resources allow firms to exploit opportunities or neutralize threats in their market environment. If a firm possesses valuable resources but fails to utilize them effectively, it will not achieve a competitive advantage. Secondly, valuable resources must also be rare to generate sustained competitive advantage. Valuable firm resources possessed by large numbers of competing or potentially competing firms cannot be sources of either a competitive advantage or a sustained competitive advantage. If too many firms hold the same valuable resources, they can all implement similar strategies, negating any one firm's advantage. This applies to both individual resources and bundles of valuable firm resources necessary for strategic implementation. Thirdly, resources must be perfectly imitable to maintain a long-term competitive edge. It is not difficult to see that valuable and rare organizational resources may be a source of competitive advantage. If competitors can easily imitate a firm's valuable and rare resources, any competitive advantage gain will be temporary rather than sustained. Finally, for a competitive advantage to be realized, firms must have the appropriate organizational processes to exploit their resources effectively, even if a resource is valuable, rare, and difficult to imitate. A firm must integrate it within its structure to generate sustained competitive advantage. By meeting all four areas of the VRIO framework, firms can create a long-lasting competitive advantage that is difficult for rivals to replicate. Suggesting policies/practices to build a sustainable competitive advantage through human capital, firms must ensure their workforce possesses valuable, rare, imperfectly imitable, and well-organized skills and knowledge. Based on this framework, three practical policies or practices that firms may introduce include selective hiring for rare and valuable talent. Since one firm resource required in the implementation of almost all strategies is managerial talent, firms should develop rigorous recruitment processes to attract top talent with unique skills. Hiring employees who possess rare expertise that is not widely available among competitors ensures that the firm can implement superior strategies. If many firms have access to the same skills, each of these firms has the capability of exploiting that resource in the same way, thereby implementing a common strategy that gives no one firm a competitive advantage. By targeting specialized knowledge and experience, firms can create a workforce that provides a sustained edge. Investment in training and development. Firms must ensure that their human capital is imperfectly imitable by implementing specialized training programs. If a particular valuable firm resource is possessed by a large number of firms, then each of these firms has the capability of exploiting that resource in the same way. By developing unique internal training programs, tailored to company-specific processes and culture, organizations can create capabilities that competitors cannot easily replicate. This reduces the risk of losing competitive advantage through employer turnover or imitation. Retention strategies to preserve competitive advantage. Even if a firm develops valuable and rare human capital, it must ensure that employees remain within the organization. Since valuable but common firm resources can help ensure a firm's revival, firms should implement retention policies such as performance-based rewards and career development plans. If key employees leave, competitors may gain access to their skills, weakening the firm's advantage. By fostering a strong organizational culture, firms can increase their probability of economic survival and sustain their competitive position.